HBO Max's Welcome to Derry has been filled with many twists and turns so far in its first season. Andy Muschietti, who directed the two It feature films, has taken the smaller moments from Stephen King's novel and made them the focus. Not only is there a new group of losers in 1962, but Dick Hallorann is front and center, and in the sixth episode, In the Name of the Father, we learn more about the origin of Pennywise with the reveal that Ingrid's father was a carnival performer who played the clown. There's only one more installment left for Welcome to Derry, so what shocking new developments go down in the penultimate episode, The Black Spot?
Pennywise appears as the black spot burns in Welcome to Derry, Episode 7.
The episode starts in 1908 at Derry's carnival, where we're introduced to the human version of Pennywise the Dancing Clown. After putting on a show with the help of his young daughter Ingrid, a mysterious child watches it all from a barn. Backstage, Pennywise's makeup is gone, showing a balding middle-aged man. Ingrid, now dressed up like a clown herself, is proud of her dear old dad, as he is of her. Night falls, and a half-made-up Bob Gray is having a smoke and a drink. In the darkness outside, something moves. He calls out, and the boy from earlier steps into the shadows. He mentions how the children are drawn to Pennywise, but doesn't crack a smile. "I can't find my parents," he says, before a scream in the woods rings out. The boy calmly says it's his mother, leading to Gray taking his hand and going into the dark wood. Later, Ingrid is looking for her father when a carnival performer finds her father's handkerchief covered in blood. It's back to 1962 at the Black Spot, where the masked mob has arrived looking for Hank Grogan. They walk into the club, guns drawn, Chief Bowers in front, and Hank turns himself in as his daughter, Ronnie, screams. It won't be that easy, though, because the black soldiers and their friends have guns too. After a standoff, the mob retreats outside, where they chain the front door before throwing Molotov cocktails through the windows and firing their guns. Everyone runs for their lives, and some are killed as the black spot burns. Hallorann yukes his way through it, seeing a soldier from the tunnels with his jaw ripped off before springing into action. He moves a fridge and smashes through the floor, ready to flee into the space below, but is stopped by the vision of an Indigenous woman wearing a bear head. Outside, Pennywise walks through the flames and asks a black woman to take his hand so he can help her out. As he bites down into her face, Ronnie sees it all and runs screaming into Hallorann's arms. But Pennywise is there to mock him as more dead walk by. The Indigenous woman stands by Hallorann's side, and he pleads for them to show him where the kids are.
Rich dies protecting Marge in Welcome to Derry, Episode 7.
Hallorann finds Hank, Ronnie, and Will, ushering them to a crawl space that leads them outside. But a collapsing wall separates him from Rich and Marge. Alone, Rich finds a fridge to hide in, but it will only fit one person. He forces a crying Marge inside and sits on top of it as he talks about knights protecting fair maidens. They reveal their love for each other in a moment that will rip your heart out as the scene cuts away, their fate unknown. As the lynch mob flees in their cars, Stan Kirsch's car won't start. He pops the hood, trying to fix it, but he'd better hurry because a different clown is here. It's not Pennywise, but his wife, Ingrid, completely made up. Behind him stands the killer clown with a cleaver. He cuts Stan's head in half and feeds on it while staring at Ingrid. Does she still believe this is her dad? Somehow she does. She wants her daddy to tell her that she's good. He tells her to bow and claps when she does just that. "Come to Papa," Pennywise says, and as they embrace, he tells her that he's going to sleep, but he'll be back. Pennywise moves to leave, leading to a desperate Ingrid grabbing his arm and begging not to be abandoned. Pennywise turns, blood dripping from his mouth, as she realizes this isn't her dad after all. She backs away as Pennywise confesses that he ate her father, but he still lives inside him. The entity's jaw dislocates, and there are the deadlights, as Ingrid begins to float upwards. Much later now, with the black spot burned and the flames out, a firefighter rescues Marge from the fridge. She looks back, and there's Rich, dead, never having left his post as a knight. She hugs the boy she loves and cries against his chest as Ronnie and Will walk in and weep too. Ingrid is being wheeled away on a stretcher, but still alive. Leroy and Charlotte Hanlon pull up and run straight to Will. In the woods, Leroy finds a shaken Hallorann, who sees nothing but the dead from the black spot. Dick tells them that the entity is gone, like it went to sleep. He tells Colonel Fuller he can help them find one of the pillars. We just have to follow her, he says, looking at the Indigenous woman that only he can see.
Leroy Hanlon can't stop General Shaw's plan in Welcome to Derry Episode 7. The next day in Derry, the radio blames the black spot fire on an electrical issue. The report also says that Hank Grogan was found amongst the dead, but we know his death has been faked. Surrounded by others in the tribe, Rose tells them that the cycle is complete. Now, it sleeps, and they can only focus on the lives saved and keeping the thing in its cage for the next 27 years. At the Hallorann home, Charlotte is calling someone who can help get Hank out of Derry, but when they won't answer, she decides to go there herself. Will wants to tell Lily what happened to Rich, but his mother refuses to let him leave. It's up to Ronnie and Marge to go to Lily's house. She sits on her bed in the dark, clutching her dagger, when her friends walk in. They tell her about Rich before going to clean up everything they left at the standpipe. One of Rich's planes is there. Marge holds it, and her friends hold her as she cries. General Shaw arrives at the new dig site to see Hallorann, who still sees the woman in the bear headdress watching him. They quickly discover a huge double turtle shell with a remnant of the star inside. They take it out and put it in a box for transport, but Fuller tells Leroy to stand down. The entity is asleep, so they're taking the pillar back to base to analyze and see if it will help them discover the others. Hanlon doesn't like this, thinking it's like leaving the cell door open. A watching Daniel, looking on shocked, must be thinking the same thing as he runs away. He ends up at Aunt Rose's house, where Charlotte is with Hank asking for help to sneak him across the Canadian border. Back at Derry Air Force Base, the pillar is picked up by men in protective suits, who feed it into a fire to incinerate, but Leroy draws a gun, demanding it be shut down. General Shaw appears and tells everyone to put their weapons down, before asking to speak with Leroy. This has never been about Russia. With America crumbling, he's trying to prevent a civil war. Fear will get people to listen and follow laws. The military doesn't want to cage the entity, they want to free it. Look how calm Derry is after the black spot. He orders the pillar to be burned, and not even a gun to his head will stop it, as the star is dumped into the molten lava-like flame. As the episode ends, it's back into the sewers, where Pennywise is melting into the ground asleep, only to open his eyes. Alone at the Hanlon home, Will answers the ringing phone. It's Ronnie, who can't get over Rich being gone. "I can smell him," Ronnie says, her voice blending into Pennywise's. Will says he's done being scared, before turning and finds himself staring right into Pennywise's deadlights.